Now, instead of having a major speaker from Pathway this year, they did something even more special. They created a video just for us for today. And then after the video, John Needham, Wendy Schusterman, and I will explain about the three parts of Pathway organization. But we'll start with the video that Pathway created.
Our Arbor Mills site was built in 1994, and it's located at 3023 Parker Hill Road in Mississauga. This building is close to downtown Mississauga, a 7-floor apartment building which features 96 individual units, a recreational room with an attached kitchen. Garage and recycle rooms are located on each floor. The main floor features a main lobby, 2 administration offices, a bicycle room, a tenant laundry room, and a maintenance room. This building has 2 newly refurbished elevators and a secure underground tenant parking garage with enough space for 68 cars.
Hello, my name is Daria, and I'm property administrator for Forest Ridge and Arbor Mill buildings. I have offices both at Forest Ridge and Arbor Mill. My role is to handle all tenant relations, including rent collection, subsidy calculations, concerns or requests from tenants and outside organizations, including Region of Peel. In addition to financial management of all operational expenses for both sites and providing support for general manager in generating reports. I'm very proud to be part of this organization as we strive every day to make it better and safer home for all our tenants.
I am a superintendent for Arbor Mill. My role is to take care of all maintenance matters related to the building, including all the apartment building operations and also liaise with all the contractors coming to the site. It is my job to show for building in compliance with all the municipal guidelines with regard to the fire safety.
Forest Ridge, located at 3420 the College Way. This 12-story building is conveniently located close to schools, churches, and shopping malls. This building was built in 1991 and features 132 tenant apartments. The main floor is home to a large recreation room with attached kitchen, a boardroom, and main office. The building also provides bicycle storage for tenants and garbage and recycle rooms on each floor. A secure tenant parking garage and maintenance room can be found on the lower level of this site. This building has 2 elevators, with one featuring a loading dock for deliveries and move-ins and a large tenant laundry room.
I'm Kendrick, the superintendent at Forest Ridge, right here in Mississauga. My main responsibility is the maintenance of this building, ensuring that all maintenance requests are completed on a timely basis, and also the coordination of contractors and the supervision of the site staff. The resident will put their garbage into the chute. It comes down to the compactor, which pushes the garbage into the bin. Room is the recycle room. It's open 24/7. The resident will come down. They place their recycles into the bin.
Welcome to Norton Lake. Located at 1155 Queen Street East in Brampton, Norton Lake is an affordable housing building owned by the Region of Peel and managed by Pathway Management.
This majestic building is one of the tallest buildings in Brampton. It features 200 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom units. The second floor to the 6th is strictly seniors only. The main floor features main offices, a multi-purpose room, and a large programming room affectionately called the Hub. Just outside the main doors, tenants also have access to a large bicycle storage room. Each floor has a garbage room with recycling features for the tenant's convenience, and an underground parking garage that features 146 spots located on 2 different parking levels. Norton Lake is home to almost 500 tenants. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Dumoulin. I work as the housing manager for Norton Lake. I deal with all of the tenant requests, concerns, anything related to tenancy. I also take care of all of the operational expenses, paying the invoices for the building, making sure that the building is running smoothly.
Hi, my name is Dominic, and I'm the superintendent here at Norton Lake. We have 200 1-, 2-, and 3-bedroom apartments on site. My role is to take care of all maintenance matters related to the building, including all the apartments and building operations. I also liaise with the contractors that are coming to the site. It's my job to ensure our building is safe and compliant with all municipal guidelines with regards to fire safety.
The COVID pandemic has changed our once bustling, active buildings to a much quieter pace. All normally scheduled programming has been suspended at all our sites to ensure the safety of all our tenants, families, and staff, and to comply with both municipal and federal pandemic guidelines. Our usual programming at each site would have included breakfast programs for all school-aged children, homework clubs, mom and tot programs, prenatal classes, and at Norton Lake, a seniors breakfast cafe. Our program focus has shifted to food security for all our tenants. A safe food delivery program has been established at all our buildings to ensure our families are receiving healthy and fresh food delivery once a week. Pathway remains committed to serving our tenants to ensure our buildings are safe, healthy, and vibrant places to live, grow, and learn.
Well, I hope you like the video put together by our talented staff at Pathway. And my name's John Needham, and I'm a Pathway board member. I know many of you already know a lot about Pathway, but for those that are not too familiar, and even those that are, I'd like to give you a quick update. As the video said, with the support of our congregation and 2 others, this important outreach program developed and built 2 buildings in Mississauga, providing a home for 230 families. Pathway is still the largest non-government, non-profit affordable housing development in Peel. Over the years, we've seen the fortunes of tenants improve and move on and up in their life. Some of those tenants have given testimonials to this congregation in the past. We also have seen children grow up within our buildings to become sustaining contributors to our community. Last year, in spite of COVID-19 and the extra costs required to keep our buildings healthy and safe, Pathway managed to achieve a small operating surplus due to diligent management and benefited from years of sound preventive maintenance practices, energy-saving capital expenditures, and good financial oversight in keeping our mission to provide decent housing for those with low or no income. We took early action in the pandemic to keep our staff and tenants healthy and safe. I'm pleased to report that we have not had a single COVID case in our buildings that we own so far. Although there was 1 case in Norton Lake that's been resolved, and 5 new cases in one of the condo buildings where we manage some units, although none of them were our tenants. Financially, Pathway has accumulated over $1.4 million in capital and operating reserves in order to keep its buildings in good shape as they get older. Our mortgage on Forest Ridge will be paid off in 2026 and Arbor Mill in 2030. Pathway is always looking at ways to develop more affordable housing or add to our inventory of managed units. Our current plan is to add 6 units to our existing Arbor Mill building. However, lack of government funding has stalled this project for more than a year. John Rawl will explain later that we're also looking to bid on opportunities to manage other social housing units. Well, that was a little bit about where we were and where we're going. Pathway's success is due to a cohesive volunteer board of directors from the 3 congregations, a dedicated Pathway staff, whom we saw in the video, and congregational support. The board, through 2 subcommittees, oversees operations, finances, policies, and strategies of Pathway through a checks and balances process. and is not a hands-on board. We leave the implementation of our policies, procedures, and strategies to our competent general manager, Roman Spector, who is accountable to carry them out. Well, that was a quick update, and now I'd like to turn things over to Wendy Schusterman to update you on Pathway Community Program activities. Wendy?
Thanks, John. The Pathway Community Programs, which Castobi and I are on the board, is currently operating the breakfast program. So at Arbor Mill, that beautiful building that you saw in the video, is currently operating on restricted operations, a breakfast club, where it's simply grab and go. So it's takeout only due to COVID. And Forest Ridge, the other building that you saw in Mississauga, did not have a paid coordinator. And so the board decided to have the grocery delivery program that's operating there. And it is mostly due to the efforts of our congregation. Susan Hogan, the Nyani family, Sarah, Annika, Rohan, Cass Doby, John Rowell, and myself, who make sure that we supplement the groceries for the many families that are food insecure. And we make a real difference. One of the mothers told me, she's a single mother of 4 children, told me that because of our support, she's able to buy fish for her dinner once a week. So thank you, everyone, for your support in both Forest Ridge and in Arbor Mills, because it is our continued support that helps to make these families a little less food insecure. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Wendy. It's a pleasure for me to describe Pathway Housing Support Services. A little bit about how it started and why, and what our future hopes are. I was on the board of Pathway about 8 years ago, and I remembered that I was impressed that it was well run. That there were no deficits and no major tenant problems, and the buildings looked in good shape. Not like some of the more rundown Toronto housing buildings that I had seen on the TV news. The financial statements and management reports reviewed at the board meetings were always positive, and I admired the general manager, Roman, and the staff. But to be honest, I felt a little under-challenged and frustrated that we weren't able to build new buildings like Pathway had done in the 1990s. It felt like we were stagnating a bit at a comfortable level, but in the meantime, the wait lists for social housing were growing by the hundreds each year. I wasn't the only one who felt that way, and John Needham sponsored a retreat at his house in 2013, and we discussed this frustration, brainstorming ideas about how to help the housing crisis. The main problem since the mid-1990s was that the federal government wasn't providing any substantial funding for housing, and the provincial and municipal levels didn't step up either. What could we do without funding? Well, what we decided to do at the retreat is to take advantage of the good reputation Pathway had in managing social housing. So we decided to offer property management services to existing or new affordable housing buildings. We set up an organization called Pathway Housing Support Services. John Needham noticed my enthusiasm about it and he asked me to be president of the new organization. And he promised me it wouldn't be too much work. Famous last words, right? But I was on the cusp of retirement from school teaching, so I said yes, a bit nervously. Well, I'm still the president today. And John Needham wasn't lying. PHSS is well run, and it's not all that much work. It needs only 3 or 4 board meetings a year to steer the ship. A little bit about what PHSS has done. In 2014, we successfully bid on a 5-year contract to run the building on the video that you saw, Norton Lake. It's about twice the size of our Mississauga buildings. The lady you saw in the video, Elizabeth, has extra funds from an anti-homelessness program in Peel, and she's also a great organizer of the Norton Lake programs for breakfast, seniors programs, new mothers support, and the homework club. But though those things have been suspended since COVID hit, they're looking forward to restarting them soon. PHSS also successfully bid on a contract in 2016 to manage 40 apartment units scattered among 16 Mississauga condominiums. The idea is that people are scattered in these condo buildings and nobody knows who's on subsidy or who's paying their full condo fees. The idea is that there's no stigma because nobody knows who's in what kind of category. It works quite well, and we've had no problems with any of the condo boards. And PHSS has small surpluses from managing these units annually to help build our reserves. We recently renewed our contract with Norton Lake, and we anticipate restarting all of the social programs as soon as everyone's vaccinated. In the meantime, we're on the lookout for new property management contracts to bid for. But our main hope in PHSS is to use our surplus to apply for funding to build a new social housing building. We have had surpluses every year at PHSS, and we have now almost enough money for a down payment for a new building if we can find land and get federal funding. The federal budget last year promised billions for affordable housing, albeit most of it in the long term. Nevertheless, the future outlook for social housing is improving, and PHSS is ready to seize opportunities as soon as they arrive. Stay tuned, there will be more to come.